It is time for the main event for the Strikefor's Middleweight Championship, and once again, the dulcet tones of Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rose Garden as Strikeforce and Showtime present the featured bout of the evening. Tonight's action is sanctioned by the Oregon State Athletic Commission, co-executive directors Mike Peterson and Craig Heiberger. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Strikeforce Middleweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from Portland, Oregon, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing at 5 feet 10.5 inches, he weighed in at 184 1/2 pounds. A well-versed MMA fighter with a background in kickboxing. His record stands at 14 wins, 3 losses, with 5 knockouts and 7 submissions to his credit. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, the honored U.S. Army Green Beret and powerful middleweight contender, introducing Tim Kennedy. And his opponent across the cage, the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, he weighed in at 185 pounds. A celebrated wrestling and jiu-jitsu standout with a record of 9 wins and 1 loss, with 2 knockouts and 6 wins coming by way of submission. Fighting out of San Jose by way of Santa Cruz, California. And tonight, making the second defense of his title, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Strikeforce Middleweight World Champion, introducing Luke Rockhold. And our referee in charge now to give instructions, John McCarthy.
Challenge for the Strikeforce Middleweight Championship of the world. You've gone over the rules of the back, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Fight hard, but fight fair. If you like to touch gloves, again, touch them now. If not, step back so we can start. Good luck.
The best in the biz, Big John McCarthy, given the assignment to preside over tonight's main event for the Strikeforce Middleweight Championship. The second title defense of champion Luke Rockhold, wearing the red gloves. The challenger, Tim Kennedy, in this, his second quest for the title, will be sporting the blue gloves.
You ready?
And we are underway from the Rose Garden Arena in Portland. Mauro Ranallo, along with Frank Shamrock, Pat Miletich, and Heidi Androl. This for the 185-pound crown in Strikeforce. And immediately, Rockhold searching for the range. Kennedy swimming in momentarily before backing up, using that kick as a rangefinder, Pat.
Yeah, and the height and reach of Rockhold is dramatic.
Yeah, checking the kick was Rockhold, letting him know, no, you're not going to land that.
Oh, big collision.
A couple of forearm smashes.
No bionic elbows. Rockhold pinning Kennedy along the fence. Kennedy's got the wizard.
Yeah, smart though by Rockhold, see him posting that right hand up as high as he can. That takes the power out of the wizard by Kennedy. Great thing to do, to be inside on that shorter, compact opponent.
Kennedy trying to get his hips out.
That was to the liver.
Rockhold with a knee to the midsection on the exit, as they once again separate early here in round 1. Southpaw stance for Kennedy.
But Kennedy told me his strategy, throw punches with massive power and then close the distance. That's pretty simple.
Kennedy getting in close, but Rockhold doing a good job of turning the tables, putting him back against the cage every time.
Another knee from Rockhold. Making this close quarter competition count. There's a short elbow strike from Kennedy, trying to create some distance.
Yeah, pushing the hips back, trying to break his posture is what he's doing.
There's a knee from the tie plum by Kennedy, but again, when your back's against the cage, you're not going to be able to derive much power, much oomph behind those shots.
Kennedy, I don't know how he's getting his hands back inside there, man. Moving his hips enough just to get the right angle to get back inside. Pretty sneaky.
Midway point of the opening round. Rockhold getting the better of this striking exchange. Hurts Kennedy with the right. Kennedy swinging wildly, and now Rockhold, though, pinning him up along the fence instead of maybe stepping back, Pat, like you said, and getting the better of these striking exchanges.
You know what? Overall, though, he's been getting the better in tight also, so why not? Doing a good job controlling position.
Not now, as the tables are turned, and Kennedy with the takedown on Rockhold. Now the question is, can he keep him there?
They put the power on him that time. See Rockhold blocking with that left arm, trying to keep him from progressing up his body.
Kennedy is just on this.
See the battle going on for Kennedy's position of his left arm. Kennedy wants that left arm under his head because that's your hook that holds you and glues you to your opponent's body. Without that, you can't move with them. So Rockhold's doing his best to get rid of that.
He's tying his legs up nicely here, keeping him from passing that guard.
Rockhold scrambling underneath, trying to hip escape, but Kennedy in this position, very tough to dislodge him.
Yeah.
Hip movement, wide base. But again, this is where he just wants to sap the energy out of Rockhold, looking for that left arm, wants to pop it out, going for maybe the Kimura.
Yeah, Rockhold doing a good job fishing for that. He's got a pretty stout guy to do it to, though.
He has 6 submission wins. Never has submitted anyone via Kimura. Has 4 rear naked choke victories. But now, straight arm lock. The double wrist lock here by Rockhold from the bottom on Kennedy. Kennedy has never been submitted.
And Kennedy gave him that and let him battle for it so he could pass to get to cross sides, because that's where he has the advantage on the longer Rockhold.
And Kennedy now has the champion's back in the final 30 seconds of the round. Rockhold back up to his feet. Waist cinch, trying to break that waist lock. And again, looking for the arm. Now turns back into the challenger.
Yeah, he put his back on the cage so that no one else could be on his back. Wise move.
10 seconds left in the opening round. On the exit, right hook from the champion. High kick blocked. Kennedy comes forward, and round 2 coming up. I'll score it.
I'm going to give the round to Rockhold. I mean, really, overall, he
really, even despite the takedown and control.
You know what? What did he do with it? He really didn't get him in trouble with it.
You know how the judges are.
Oh, here's Rockhold just getting in range again, unloading nicely, throwing Kennedy off balance and counterpunching. These guys are real dangerous here in the early round, just kind of winging it. Rockhold landing the better shots and just staying on top of Kennedy the whole time. I thought he was going to hurt him even more in that round. There's a beautiful right hand right behind the ear, over the shoulder, and stunned him pretty good. But Kennedy comes back. He said, "Nuh-uh." He's going to steal with that takedown and a beautiful hip turn and smash.
Yeah, very powerful guy. Once he gets his hands locked, it's most likely you're going down.
Yeah, Rockhold going for a hold. Now, I thought he should have used this to escape out because it's a tough hold to get. He had the straight arm at top.
Right, and watch Kennedy. He's letting him get it, and he's working for position so he can snake out to cross sides at the same time. Both guys are playing a chess game.
Step all the way back to the corner.
1 round of this main event. Strikefor's middleweight title fight is in the books. We are set for round 2. Big John McCarthy calls for action. The champion in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue. Right head kick, and that allows Kennedy to quickly close the distance, but this time it's Rockhold on Kennedy's back on the ground, has 1 hook in.
Wow.
See what he can do with it. Look at Kennedy trying to turn on him, maybe hit a switch.
And remember, 4 of Rockhold's 6 submission wins have come from the back. The rear naked choke, what he's fishing for right now.
Yeah, you really don't want a long, rangy, great grappler on your back.
Rockhold spreading him out, just riding, looking for the spot to throw his left leg in, get those hooks inside.
Oh, nice elbow from the bottom there by Kennedy. Greg Jackson in Kennedy's corner. Of course, he was the target of some criticism by Luke Rockhold going into this fight, saying the Greg Jackson game plan is conservative. Well, if it's effective, and they have a lot of bonuses in that camp as well, and Kennedy now back up to his feet and seems a little upset by what transpired there, Pat. He's picked up what was going on?
Well, I tell you what, I think he's just happy he got out of there.
He seemed frustrated by something.
There's something weird going on there.
Left hook misses by Kennedy. Rockhold, of course, a big height and reach advantage in this fight. Kick-punch combination from the champion. From the southpaw stance, of course, always making it difficult, although the kryptonite usually that straight right hand. There's a nice 1-2 combination put together by the southpaw champion.
Kennedy's allowing Rockhold to fight his fight. You can't do that. He's not shutting Rockhold down, and he's the one with his back against the cage. It's not a place to be.
And Rockhold's really feeling it.
Right hand as Kennedy tries to change levels, looking for the shot. Nothing doing. The champion now beginning to find the zone. Switching stances momentarily, back to orthodox. There's that left liver kick.
Because of the speed and the reach of Rockhold, you know, you generally have to go at the same time they go. Move your head when they throw, move outside or inside, and throw power and catch them coming in.
Oh,
right there.
Hand caught the champion, but he walks right through it, and it's amazing that that front kick becoming so prominent in MMA as Rockhold again, the combination thwarting the takedown attempt by Kennedy thus far. Kennedy looking to persevere, however, and now Rockhold looking for the armbar scramble. Kennedy now looking to secure the double.
That was a smart rollout by Kennedy. He wanted to roll and end up in cross sides, a snake out of that submission there.
Kennedy's on him.
Now it's Kennedy controlling head position with Rockhold against the cage.
We haven't seen those kicks from Kennedy or from Rockhold in this fight.
Lead left hook countered by a left from Rockhold.
Nice
Rockhold looking to give him a shave there with that right kick. Some of the kicks we've seen in the past from Luke Rockhold, who likes to mix things up. Of course, working with Kung Lee and AKA, picking up a few tips from the former Strikeforce middleweight champion. Recently picked up his first win inside the octagon. Rockhold hunting down the challenger. Straight left, nice counter right from the challenger.
That's what Kennedy needs to do right there. Catch him coming in.
Final minute now of this second round. Scheduled for 5 for the middleweight crown.
Luke's got to find a way to pin him in that cage, stop his lateral movement.
Well, and you get the feeling that Kennedy's trying to lure him in for something nasty.
Got to watch out keeping your leg up in the air like that.
Final 10 seconds of the second round. The champion, Luke Rockhold, at 9-1. 8 wins inside the distance. The challenger, Tim Kennedy, 14-3. 12 wins inside the distance. We're going to round 3. Luke Rockhold's mother in attendance, applauding the efforts of her son, the champion, Team Champ, as they're calling themselves.
Oh, here's the big kick that, yeah, it could have been a whisker shortener. Nice power in that one. Turned the knee over. Here's the big elbows on the ground, and this is where there was a little bit of, hey, what's really going on there? Kennedy with a nice short shot right there to Rockhold's lips.
Relax, go open up.
Right here, Kennedy had a moment backing away with that counter strike. That's what Pat was talking about. But Rockhold just keeps bringing it. High, low, kicking. He's starting to loosen up his kicks in that round and started doing damage not only to the upper body but to the mid body as well.
Kennedy landing only 3 power strikes in the second round. Luke Rockhold, not many more, 9, still tripling the effectiveness of Kennedy, but pace needs to be picked up a bit here in this championship fight, Pat. Round 3.
Well, if Kennedy wants to steal this belt, he better.
Needs more of those leg kicks.
Rockhold trying to befuddle Kennedy with the switching of the stances. Once again, nullifies the takedown attempt by Kennedy. No secret that Kennedy wants this fight on the ground.
Shorter, more compact guy with the underhooks, got the body lock on him. Needs to possibly either hit a trip or get down lower around the hips, suck those hips in.
Rockhold pummeling now, has the underhook and overhook.
Couple good knees, one low.
That was square.
Stand right here. Stand right here. I'm telling you, grab the fence again, I'm taking a point.
Oh, and the referee, Big John McCarthy, warning Luke Rockhold that if he grabs the fence again, he's going to take a warning, or take a point.
He chewed Kennedy at the end of the last round for that.
And now Kennedy, of course, getting warned for the low blow.
Oh, it's definitely low.
One minute gone here in round 3. Champion Rockhold, challenger Kennedy. Still not really putting together much of a sustained effort. Kennedy backing up. Rockhold catches him with that right hook. And that draws the ire of Kennedy, who now responds with a couple of leg kicks. Unable to circle away from the champion. Rockhold doing a good job now of pinning Kennedy along the fence. Kennedy with those side kicks.
Wow.
Ducking underneath the right hand of Rockhold. But Kennedy unable to take him down again after that shot against the fence.
Yeah, Kennedy got in tight, but here's the problem. He dropped to his knees and didn't keep a foot behind him to plant and start driving.
Yeah, he did it on 2 knees. That's what he did against Lawler when they fought, but he was able to keep scrambling after him and finally get him down.
Got to keep driving with your legs if you're going to take down a great fighter.
Show stats, the strikes thus far. Rockhold has landed more. Kennedy, though, higher percentage, very close. And now Rockhold landing a left hand against the fence. Picked off when he was attempting that kick. Now looking maybe for the way he set up that stance. Maybe a side kick. Now squaring up a little more from the southpaw stance. Ooh, lands a nice straight left to the jaw of the challenger. And we are halfway through this Strikefor's middleweight championship bout with Luke Rockhold's belt at stake. Too much single shooting and pot shotting going on here, Pat.
Right, there is. And for Kennedy, I think, at some point they need to change the strategy. He needs to be walking forward, moving his head, and just keep walking him down until he gets him where he wants him and start unloading.
I was going to say strategy-wise, or judging-wise, Kennedy's running away the whole time. It doesn't look like he's engaging, although he is engaging as soon as Rockhold gets close enough.
Right.
Again, Kennedy does a good job of avoiding the strike and tying the champion up, but unable to bring him to the canvas. And now Rockhold may be wanting to look for that arm, but now Kennedy has his back. It's got one hook in. Kennedy now looking for the rear naked choke. And again, neither competitor has been submitted yet in their respective careers.
Now he's got to pull him away from that cage because Luke Rockhold's going to be looking to wall walk. Yep.
Grab it.
Look at Kennedy trying to horse him over, man. That was a battle of wills.
Back-to-back mount here by Kennedy's got. Look at the body triangle.
There.
Nope, loose.
Rockhold's cleared the leg.
And he's back to his feet. wanting to break that waist lock. Less than a minute remaining here in the third round.
See how hard Kennedy's leaning one way, torquing on him.
You got to watch for that dump. Kennedy can put his hips inside, lift him up, turn him upside down.
Nice angle change.
And now Rockhold had Kennedy momentarily in the fence, nailed him with a right hook. Not a lot of sustained action here in round 3. 20 seconds left. The champion moving forward with the left. War of attrition brewing here in Portland, Oregon for the Strikeforce Middleweight Championship. Final 10 seconds. Rockhold momentarily had Kennedy's back. We're headed to the championship rounds.
More of a tackle war between these two. I think Kennedy takes that round. First round that he's won yet, though.
Oh, the striking belongs to Rockhold in this one. Just short, chopping right hand there. He's staying in range the whole time. And when he's switching stances, he's bringing this left forward. I mean, that is a tremendous shot. Directly on the chin, feet planted. Hey, what a chin for Kennedy. And Kennedy just staying on the hip, staying on the takedown. He got in really good position after this one. Sort of a rear leg trip, kind of drug him down, pulled his hips out, and then was right on his back.
Yeah, he just torqued on the hips so much. Step inside and bump those hips, and over you go, right?
Yeah, this is the most danger we've seen Rockhold in this fight, is in that position.
So we're into the championship rounds, and we've been informed that the reason that Tim Kennedy was a little upset earlier in the fight was when Rockhold grabbed the fence, so he was, rightfully so. As we are into the championship rounds here, fourth round about to get started. The champion in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue. Who wants the title more? Rockhold and Kennedy. A couple of piston-like right uppercuts by Kennedy as he circled away from the cage.
Rockhold has switched up his stance now.
Rockhold's done a great job of controlling this fight for the most part. He's walking Kennedy down the entire time. Kennedy's trying to set traps, but he's not seeing his openings.
Left head kick there.
I think that's why he switched his stance. Kennedy just needs some more options in his striking game.
Well, he needs feints and fakes. He's got to lure Rockhold in. He's got to get Rockhold out of position. Rockhold's never really been out of position striking, and he's got to catch him coming in.
In that last round, Kennedy landed 15 or 24 strikes. Rockhold just 9 of 32. They say defense wins championships, but offense earns you a fan base.
Yeah, it does. But, you can't be a leadoff fighter against a guy like Rockhold who's just going to move away from you and use his reach. You have to catch him coming in, do damage, and then explode with 3, 4, 5 shots, then hit a takedown behind it.
Kennedy attempted a cut kick a minute ago and then kind of stopped at the last minute.
Side kick from Kennedy, trying to keep the champion at bay. The champion just stalking him along the fence. Southpaw position, flashes the left hand.
Nice body shot.
3 minutes remaining in the round. Crowd beginning to chant Luke, cheering on the Strikeforce middleweight champion. Switches stances again. Kennedy backpedaling. Body kick sends him to the fence.
Yeah, that was a hard kick.
Kennedy's really deceptive when he changes angles. He should be doing that with his striking as opposed to just his takedown.
Right, but here's the thing too, is I just don't see a sense of urgency out of Kennedy at all.
Yeah.
Body shot from the champion.
That's kind of what happened to him in a Jacare fight, though.
A little bit, buddy.
Kind of got in a mode and didn't switch it.
Oh, Kennedy is down and in trouble. The champion pounces on Kennedy. Full mount achieved by Rockhold.
That was a blistering right hook.
And yet Kennedy able to get that right leg up.
Look at that.
Hip escape, nicely done by the challenger. Now sitting up along the fence. And now has maybe a guillotine, my arm in there.
You better watch that head.
A minute and a half remaining in the fourth round. The champion knocked down the challenger, but it's the challenger now.
He's got it.
Looking for the guillotine on Rockhold, and Rockhold escapes. They're back up to their feet.
You know that.
Last minute of the fourth round. Kennedy now pins the champion along the fence.
You know, this is an ideal time where you want to pop off, throw 3-4 punches, and then go back down lower into the legs. Maybe not want to give him that much room, though.
Well, if either of these athletes wanted to make a statement, guys, it's time is running out.
Well, when you're the champ, technically, you just do enough to win sometimes. The challenger, obviously, you want excitement, but
not when you're the main event. But
challenger has got to take
and now the challenger is taking the back of the champion. And Rockhold just sits down.
Trying to peel him off.
Wants to turn into the challenger. 10 seconds remaining in the penultimate round.
There's a bit of a sideshow.
Fifth and final round straight ahead.
Nice round for Luke Rockhold again. Very easily could be 4 rounds to 0 in the judges' eyes, but at least 3-1.
I think it's 3-1.
Luke's mother watching with vested interest, of course, as we revisit some of the action of that last round.
When you talk about big punches, they've come from Luke Rockhold, like that one right there. Sort of a right upper cross that just smoked Kennedy and put him on his butt. But Kennedy's recovery is so quick.
And this is a perfect example why you don't throw a hook with your opposite hand down, because you end up getting lit up and dropped.
Oh, he even landed that jab, too, as he's moving forward. Just driving him back and then right on top of him.
Survived it well, got back to his feet, though, quickly.
So with the Strikeforce middleweight title hanging in the balance, we head into the 5th and final round. Will Luke Rockhold maintain his grasp on the title in his second title defense, or is Tim Kennedy going to find a way to wrest the belt from around the waist of that man? We're underway here. Final round. The two touch gloves, the champion in the red gloves, the challenger in the blue gloves. Fans here in Portland hoping for a memorable 5th and final round.
Nice counter kick by Ken. That's what he's got to do. As soon as he comes in, strike, take down.
He needs the KO, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Rockhold just completely controlling the range.
And it's all about the feints. Again, He's got Kennedy completely confused as to when he's actually going to throw at him.
Kennedy shoots in the sprawl by the champion back to their feet. Kennedy pins him along the fence, but unable to bring this fight to the canvas. Luke Rockhold doing a good job with his takedown defense, doing a good job, as you guys mentioned, with controlling the range, getting the better of the offensive opportunities, although in that last round, very even, and now the power strikes, well, not so even. 32-13 in favor of the champion. 2 takedowns successful for Kennedy, but only in the fact that they took the champion down, and he did go for the submission attempt on the one.
Yeah, but really, you know, didn't have him in desperate trouble.
Straight left from the champ.
That came good off a nice fake kick. Right to a straight left.
Yeah, there you go. Feints and fakes, brother.
Kennedy's so aggressive when he gets close to you, but only when he gets close to you.
Now he's switching off to the single. Let's see if he can turn the angle. He's going back to a double, back to a single, kind of trying to make up his mind.
Yeah, that grip there, that's going to stop him.
Champion now in top position. Scrambled though, and Kennedy back on top looking for the guillotine.
Needs
it.
Now Luke looking for the takedown, right?
Yeah. 2:24 left, and he gets it.
Well, like we talked in our keys, this is where Rockhold does damage. When he's grinding on you right in the middle of the scramble.
Look at that. He's got the far foot, had the head, the underhook. Really tied Kennedy in knots that time.
And a good legal knee right to the midsection.
Final 2 minutes of this main event for the Strikeforce middleweight title.
Rockhold's wrestling has improved greatly. You can tell that Cormier and Velasquez and all those guys have really been working with him much better.
Kennedy switching
stances. Minute and a half now left in this fight. Does anything remain in Tim Kennedy? Can he pull something out here? He needs a stoppage in order to win the title. For the champion, like you said, Pat, content to ride it out?
Yeah, I think
pick up the wave, and physically, I mean, you could see the difference. It's quite paramount just how much bigger Luke Rockhold is.
Well, Kennedy's a very thick guy, but Rockhold has a huge frame.
Final minute of tonight's main event. The Strikeforce middleweight champion Luke Rockhold with his back along the fence. Tim Kennedy getting put on the fence now by Rockhold, and a knee to the breadbasket. 45 seconds remain. Crowd in Portland beginning to anticipate that this is going to go to the judges' scorecards, and that Luke Rockhold will retain the Strikeforce middleweight title. Kennedy closing the gap one last time. Gets backed up to the fence again by the bigger champion.
Rockhold is just on him.
10 seconds left in the fight. Kennedy with an elbow from in close. We're going to the judges' scorecards.
Wow.
And Luke Rockhold's mom stands in appreciation, I'm sure, breathing a sigh of relief as well. A workmanlike performance for the champion who did what he had to do. But for Tim Kennedy, didn't do enough of what he had to do, right, Pat?
Well, you know, at some point you got to say to yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep getting what I'm getting. He never changed up his attacks. Same game plan the whole time through, and let Rockhold control it pretty much the whole time. Either he was perplexed by what he was seeing in front of him, or somewhere along the line the hunger left. I don't know what happened. Probably what he was seeing and what Luke was doing. Luke was moving well, throwing a lot of feints, a lot of fakes, and scrambling with him every time they went to the ground. Used his leverage well against probably overall stronger Kennedy.
So while we await to determine the victor of this decision fight here, the main event for the Strikeforce middleweight title, we can talk about another Strikeforce champion, Ronda Rousey's look on her face when she first saw herself on the cover of ESPN, the body issue. She was on the red carpet at the ESPYs, and the Strikeforce women's bantamweight champion, really ubiquitous these days, spreading the word of female MMA, spreading the word of Rousey, sharing the spotlight with her sister, and you'll be able to find out just exactly what makes the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion tick. All access, Ronda Rousey, Wednesday, August 8th, 9:30 p.m. And then she will defend the title for the first time against this young lady, the ex-champion, Sarah Kaufman. August 18th in San Diego is when that fight goes down. Julie Ketzi will also be in action on August 18th. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scored about the same, 49-46. All 3 in favor of the winner. And still, the Strikeforce middleweight world champion, Luke Rockhold.
Sorry about the fence. I really didn't mean to.
Luke Rockhold, the second defense of the middleweight title. As Tim Kennedy and Luke Rockhold share a few words. Tough fight. Congratulations, champ. What'd you think of your performance tonight? Why are you still the Strikeforce middleweight champion?
My team and just everything I've gone through in life hasn't been easy, and it shows in 5-round wars. Those suck, but hard work pays off.
What was the biggest key tonight? Why do you think you were able to curry the judges' favor?
I controlled the pace. I think I stalked him most of the time. Made him, he's backing up, and I defended all the takedowns for the most part. Got a couple of my own. Finally got some takedowns in here. So, I feel good. I think I could have let some combinations go. I loaded up a lot. I tried to headhunt. He's got some funky strikes. It's just unorthodox, and it's hard to read sometimes when you know he's going to shoot.
Pat Miletich and Frank Shamrock talked about the improvements in your wrestling. No surprise. I mean, AKA is American Kickboxing Academy, but when you got guys like Daniel Cormier and Cain Velasquez in your corner, I guess that's going to happen, right? The improvements there. Is that something you specifically worked on?
No doubt. No doubt. That was one of the main focuses in this camp. Kennedy's a great wrestler. He's so tenacious. Where he lacks in technique, he makes up for in his heart and desire. So he just keeps coming, and I know I can't get stale for a second, and that's what I had to do.
Congratulations again, Luke.
Thank you very much.
Luke Rockhold remains the Strikeforce middleweight champion. Let's go back to cage side.
Well, he certainly earned that victory, and so now we've seen him for 10 championships.